What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video. Now, even with no pay-per-views this weekend, thank God, there's lots to report, and you know we've got you covered. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 13th October 2019 news, including a big drop in Smackdown's ratings, a former WWE superstar guest stars on AEW Dynamite this week, a new WWE signing, Randy Orton possibly turning face, Matt Hardy has a possible stalker, Jake Hager discusses Cain Velasquezs signing with WWE, Kevin Owens' reaction to being drafted, AEW saying they are not competing with WWE, as well as our top story, a former WWE announcer working with AEW. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video, but let's waste no further time and get into the first bit of news as Friday Night Smackdown's ratings plunge. The ratings for Friday Night Smackdown's second week on Fox are in, with the show experiencing a one-quarter decline in ratings. To understand things better, consider the following breakdown from the Wrestling Observer's Paul Fontaine. Last night's SmackDown averaged 2.898 million viewers in the overnight ratings, down 25% from last Friday's Fox premiere. The episode was night one of this year's WWE Draft. In the key 18 to 49 demographic, SmackDown averaged a 0.95 rating, down from 1.35 last week. The only demo where SmackDown didn't fall was in the person's 50+. The show averaged a 3 rating in that demo both weeks. In comparison to other networks, Fox trailed both CBS and NBC, but beat ABC in terms of total viewers. SmackDown did finish first in the 18 to 34 and 18 to 49 demographics. While 25% is a major drop, the WWE did win the ratings battle for the all-important 18 to 49 demographic, although it bears mentioning that there was a drop in this demographic from week 1. Although this can't be seen as good news, there's no way the WWE was going to capture the same fans as the star-studded premiere. What should really prove interesting is how SmackDown performs after the draft, when the show is all about wrestling rather than a 20-year anniversary or part 1 of the draft. Speaking of the draft, was Kevin Owens upset? Was Kevin Owens actually upset over being drafted to Raw? Consider his following tweet. Last night, the WWE digital team asked me for my thoughts after I was drafted to Raw. I gave them a very honest, heartfelt answer. They decided not to post the footage because I appeared to be angry. I was angry. I still am. Round 3? Looks like I still have lots to prove. Considering how the WWE likes to use social media to work the fans, anything a wrestler says on social media should be taken with a huge heap of salt. If anyone in the WWE is even considering a heel turn for Owens, they need to be shown the door. Next up, is Randy Orton turning face? With Randy Orton now being drafted to Raw, fans are curious what role the Viper will have on the currently heel-heavy roster, although that could change after part 2 of the draft. But rumour has it that Orton may turn babyface once he arrives on the red brand, levelling out the babyface's main event side. Reporting on a post-SmackDown match, Ringside News noted, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens were supposed to have a match, but Tony Nese and Drew Gulak interrupted them. They had some words back and forth and everyone ended up brawling. Ariya Daivari attempted to kick Orton, but he hit an RKO. This was followed by Mike Kanellis taking the microphone for a second, but then he was hit with an RKO from Orton and a stunner from Owens to send the fans home happy. Considering how Orton's previous run as a babyface had been lukewarm at best, the WWE should make sure they have a program schedule for Orton where his opponent is so unsympathetic that fans will cheer for him. Don't be surprised if the WWE uses Orton's role on Team Flair at Crown Jewel to stage a possible face turn. But are we actually already seeing a babyface Orton? As Orton, who is known for trolling the audience, saved a fan's cell phone after it dropped over the barricade and onto the entranceway. But instead of ignoring it, Orton picked it up and took a selfie with the fan. Screams babyface to us. Next up, Matt Hardy reacts to a potential stalker and definite troll. Recently, someone posted the following message on Twitter, including a picture of Matt, his wife, and their 2 young children. Oddly, he tweeted, "Every morning I wake up and throw a dart at this picture, and whoever it lands on is my next target." Hardy's reply was to the point. Here's a textbook example of why the Twitter community can't always have nice things. Pitiful little sweet pie punk starstruck thinks it's okay to make innocent children their next target publicly on Twitter. Seems to be time to report and revoke their Twitter licenses. We hope the WWE is actually taking this one seriously, considering past actions by individuals attacking wrestlers and stalking them. Oh, be sure to check that video out if you have some time. Next up, Cain Velasquez's secret to avoiding surgery. Recently, the Wrestling Observer suggested Cain Velasquezs might be unable to fight Brock Lesnar right away as he might need knee surgery. However, that doesn't seem to be the case as Cain is scheduled to face Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia at the Crown Jewel event. So what's the former UFC heavyweight champion's secret? No, the MMA star and newly signed WWE superstar doesn't have access to a bank of clones. Instead, Dave Meltzer has changed his take on things. No surprise there. Claiming on the Wrestling Observer radio, Cain may not need, well, he's trying to avoid the knee surgery. I guess it's probably from Rey Mysterio and also Brian Cage. I know we talked to Brian Cage about this as well. They talked to him about the stem cell therapy in Colombia. So the thing I heard is that he's probably going to do stem cell therapy in Colombia, and he's hopeful that improves his knee so it doesn't need surgery. So if that's the case, then he might not be out that long or might not be out. The tough as nails Velasquez also had some kayfabe-esque comments about Lesnar's run in the WWE. That's never left me. Those feelings that I had when I first fought him in 2010, now that's amplified more so. I've been waiting for him in the WWE for a while and seeing what he does every day. I'm not a fan of what he does and how he portrays himself when he's wrestling, so I'm here to change some things. Well, the change could be big if he wins, as it's now been confirmed that the WWE Championship will be on the line at Crown Jewel. We're so glad that Cain Velasquez gets a title shot. He's been in the WWE for years, busting his ass day in and day out, moving up the ranks from NXT. Ooh, no wait, we're thinking of someone else. What are your thoughts on Cain Velasquez getting an instant title shot? After all, he hasn't done anything in the WWE to earn it. But here's Jake Hager's take on Velasquez in WWE. Hager, who worked in WWE as Jack Swagger, is familiar with both wrestling and MMA, as he currently competes in Bellator MMA and is 2-0. Hager told MMA reporter Ariel Helwani, "You know what, I think it's cool that Cain was able to cross over. I think it's awesome. I want to see more and more people cross over. I want to see more wrestlers cross over into MMA, more MMA crossover into pro wrestling. Because then our fans truly see how similar the worlds are, and how great they can be when you understand what's going on. I think it's interesting though that they saw me surprise debut, and then a couple of days later they had Cain come out, not even signed to a contract, you know. Kind of rush hush hush. Cain Velasquez and Tyson Fury's entry into the world of professional wrestling is nothing new, as professional sports and professional wrestling have mixed pretty much since the early 20th century, with professional football players often making the jump into the squared circle. After all, look at Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn. However, in all honesty, they weren't treated as the biggest stars, and mostly floated around the mid-card for some time. Next up, a WWE Injury Report as the injuries keep on coming. It's been confirmed that NXT star Kushida apparently re-injured his wrist during his 9th October match against Volta, as Kushida tweeted, "Ouch, rebuild and come back to the ring soon, thank you everyone." Kushida is listed as day-to-day according to Ringside News' Felix Upton. Next up, a little bit of heat, as in case you missed our previous news video, Bret Hart's claim that he was invited to be the leader of the Kliq back in the WWF during the mid-90s was strongly disputed by Kliq members Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Hart was at a Between the Ropes event in Belfast when he made the claim, and as noted in our news video, he also made the claim years ago in his memoir. Here's what Bret had to say during an appearance in Belfast. "What I said last night in Belfast is absolutely true, and Kevin Nash can go to hell." Next up, AEW confirms it's not competing with WWE. Is this really a war? Well, lead investor and father of AEW president Tony Khan, Shad Khan, confirmed that they're not competing with the WWE. Speaking on Yahoo Finance's All Markets Summit Generational Opportunities, he confirmed, "WWE is a great company, but we are not here competing with them. In the golden age of wrestling during the late 90s, there were 10 million fans. Now it's down to 2 million. So we're tapping into fans who are not engaged and quite frankly the younger fan who never got quite into it. Competition is good for everybody, but it's very important for AEW to do our own thing." And our last story, a former WWE announcer is now working with AEW. AEW's Cody Rhodes announced today via Twitter that former ECW legend Taz will be providing guest commentary for AEW Dark, the streaming show that features dark matches from AEW Dynamite. Although Taz worked in the WWE as a performer, he's best remembered for his work as a color commentator there and later in TNA Wrestling. Ringside News reports that Taz auditioned for WWE Backstage, which is produced by Fox rather than WWE, and that Taz was not invited to Smackdown's 20th anniversary episode. But there you have it guys, all your latest news for the 13th October 2019. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.